for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is convened in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing notice in the Asbury Park Press on Friday, January 8th, 2021, the Press of Atlantic City, and the Star Ledger, and also forwarded to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBM News on Wednesday, January 6th, 2021, and thereafter posting same on the Town Hall Bulletin Board for such notices and filing same with the Township Clerk pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. The meeting dates have also been posted on the Township webpage. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Here.
Councilman Kopp.
Here.
Councilman Lotano.
Here.
Councilman Roderick.
Here.
Councilman Turnbach.
Here.
Council Vice President Maruka.
I move for an excused absence for Council Vice President Maruka.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Council President Gagan.
Here.
First item, the approval of minutes of September 14, 2021.
Move the minutes.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
And tonight with us for our honoring presentation, we are honoring P. David Correll, the voice of the Indian.
Move the honoring resolutions and presentations.
That's a good point.
Second.
I'm going to have to abstain for the minutes.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick abstains.
No,
On
that
the
was
minutes.
He's going to
last-
abstain from
On
the
the,
other.
on the minutes.
We have to go back after we're done with this.
Councilman Roderick for this.
Yeah, yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes. Council, if you would, join us. Honored to have you here this evening. Present. We have not only a township proclamation, but a legislative proclamation as well. And this is whereas P. David Correll has been an enthusiastic and devoted educator at Toms River High School South for 43 years and has made lasting contributions to High School South, including originating Senior Week, Senior Night, Senior Awards Night, Most Loyal Fan Award, AP History Test Review, Senior Parents Night, BAM Recognition Night, and the Voice of the Indian, and has created a long-lasting school-spirited tradition at High School South, including the Pep Club, mascots, preservation of the Victory Bell, preserving downtown victory parades, adapting school symbols, and courtyard beautification. And after your retirement in 2007, you continued on at all these tasks. You've certainly been a wonderful asset to the students, the community, and High School South, and we're honored to have you here, you and your family here to represent.
And Dr. No. Aw. Excellent.
I can't read that, I don't know.
Thank you so much. All right, come on down. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ready, guys?
Continuing on with the agenda, item 7 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, authorizing the purchase of certain real property designated as Lot 87 in Block 411 as shown on the official tax maps of Toms River Township pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 40A:12-5 and further authorizing the leasing thereof to the Jersey Shore Council Incorporated, Boy Scouts of America, for nominal consideration pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-14C. This is a final reading.
This is the final reading. This is a final reading. Does any member of the public have any comments or concerns about that? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to, go ahead, ma'am. Sir. I didn't see either.
I guess you want my name, right?
Name and address for the record,
Susan
please.
Von Masterson, 1105 Fellowship Court in Toms River. I was just wondering how long they're going to have that lease for. The paper said it was $1 for rent for the Boy Scouts, for their property, because they're staying there.
They
Okay,
will
it
be
is-
occupying.
I
as they
can
put it.
answer that for you. It's going to be 3 years. The Boy Scouts on a national level had to liquidate a lot of their assets, so this is part of it. And they're going to occupy about half of the building as they close out their operation for 3 years.
And it's at $1 a month, is that what I heard correctly? Is that what
$1
you
a
said?
year.
A
It was
year.
part of the right, it was part of the consideration for the purchase, yes.
And is there opportunity for an extension on that, or are they allowed to, is there a cutoff at 3 years?
Right now, it's a 3-year lease. There's not been an extension discussed, and there's nothing in the contract for that.
And is the township responsible for maintenance of that building?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and has the township checked out that building? Like, is the plumbing good? Is the township going to be responsible for if the pipes break, or the air conditioning goes there, or the heating goes, or if the roof is bad? Are we giving them almost $1 million, and then as Toms River residents, we have to pay to maintain a building that they're occupying?
That's a lot of questions. Which
Yeah, well,
question
it all
would you like
ties
me
in,
to
the
answer?
maintenance
I'm
of the
not-
building. Is the taxpayers of Toms River responsible for the maintenance of the building? And have you checked into it deep enough to make sure that it's not going to require another $100,000 to maintain the building?
Okay, well, we haven't signed the contract yet. That'll occur typically after the contract is signed, and if there's something that's problematic, we have recourse.
Okay, and are they paying their bills there, the electric, their own, or the township paying for that too?
I've answered that. The township
No,
is
no, I
taking
meant, no,
care
are they, but are
of
they, is the,
maintenance of the building, yes. Township
and
is taking care of the
so
maintenance of the building.
the electric bill's coming to the township, not to the Boy Scouts, and all their services, is that the township incurring that cost, or are they paying their own bills?
I can't say it any more plain. The township is maintaining the cost to operate the building.
The whole thing? Okay,
Yes.
all right, just wanted to check. I've been in the building, that's why I'm asking. Okay, thank you.
Is there someone else? Yes, ma'am.
Michelle Williams, 111 Tiller Drive, Toms River. As the leaser of the property, would our township be liable if there were any other suits brought during the 3 years that we are the leaser of that property? If there any other incidents occur similar to what the Boy Scouts of America have had problems with?
No, we wouldn't be on the hook for any lawsuit against the Boy Scouts for anything that they've done.
So
Our
we would
liability
be held
is-
liable.
Our liability is for what we do or not do.
Something would occur on the property similar to
Right.
what's occurred.
That's a good question. If someone fell or,
I mean, I'm sure a slip and
Were-
fall we would be, but as far as the other
Yeah, you're
civil
talking
litigation
about
against the
civil
Scouts of
litigation the Boy
America,
Scouts.
No, because if it didn't occur
Mm-hmm.
on that property, then that property's not responsible?
that's a good
No,
point.
you're
No,
saying
but you're confusing two things. If something happens on a township-owned piece of property, then the township's potentially liable if we did something wrong. You're talking about, I think, the litigation, the lawsuits that are going against the Boy Scouts. We're not
Yes.
assuming any
Yes,
liability
no,
for
not
those.
currently, but if something were to happen in the future of that same category, while we are the leaser of the property, would we?
No.
The township wouldn't be
No.
held responsible? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
okay? Are there any other questions regarding this matter? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close public comment.
Seeing none, I move to close the public comments portion of the ordinance.
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move the ordinance on final.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick.
I vote yes, and I'd like to say that I firmly support this purchase, that I think it's great that we are going to have property that is contiguous with the Camp Albacondo and the county-owned property. This is really great opportunity to get more green space for the township and recreation space, and so I vote yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
I would certainly echo Councilwoman Urick's comments. The public continues to come to us requesting that we purchase open space and land, and it is contiguous with property of the county. I certainly have faith in our lawyers that will execute on these contracts, that if there's anything structurally wrong with the building, that will work into a price or some form of consideration. So for all the reasons of really the public asking us to continue to purchase property, I support this. I vote yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes, and I'd like to add, in November's election on the ballot, there will be a question about the increase for open space tax. This is a prime example of the things the township can do with that money. I vote yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Well, I do recognize that a dollar lease is not the best deal for the township. I'd hate to see hundreds of additional houses, should the Boy Scouts decide to sell this to someone else, a private developer. So I'm going to vote yes.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
Next, we have our consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately.
Does any council member have any item they'd like discussed or voted on separately?
I'd like a roll call on N, O, and P. You could do them together if you like, if it saves time.
Okay, N, O, and P. Any other member of the council have any item they wish to be discussed separately? Does any member of the public have any item you wish to have discussed or questioned separately? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to,
Seeing none, I move the balance of the consent agenda other than items N as in Nancy, O as in opera, P as in Peter.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yorick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach, to move the consent agenda with the exception of items N, O, and P. Councilwoman Yorick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
yes. Okay, Councilman Roderick, did you have questions or just request a roll call
Just a
vote?
roll call.
Okay. Do you want to
Maybe then I could ask some questions, so maybe the township attorney can explain N, O, and P so that the public knows what we're voting on.
Okay, Mr. Chief, can vote.
Well, Bob can explain what the projects are for. I can explain what the resolution is for, so I don't know who you
Yeah,
want
if
to
you
go
want
first.
to, go ahead, Mr. Kelly, and we'll,
This is the acceptance of a performance bond for a project known as The Woods. It's, I believe it's 141 apartments on Route 9 at the intersection of Church Road. The planning board did grant this project approval. Anthony, I guess I'll add, one of the conditions is they post a bond for the, protecting the township if they default during construction, and this is essentially the township accepting the bond money that the developer has posted.
Can I ask, you wouldn't be able to build it without the bond, correct? Like this is the last stop, right, for the
Yes,
developer?
it's
The last stop?
One of the conditions, yes.
Okay, thank you.
However, can our attorney please explain what happens if we refuse to accept the performance guarantees?
Right, so they are required by law to post a performance guarantee in the form of a bond. That's guaranteeing their performance. If they fail, then we have recourse to the bond to either restore the land the way it was, complete the project, or correct any deficiencies. As long as the bond is in order as required by law, we are obligated to accept it. Otherwise, we would be interfering with their development rights and would be sued.
And would we win that?
No, as long as the bond meets the criteria, no.
In other words, the idea that we have some say, this development's already been approved by the planning board, correct?
Correct.
In 2018.
Okay. And if we're to say no to this performance guarantee, we're going to subject the township to a lawsuit that you're advising as our attorney, we're going to lose.
That's correct.
I have no other questions.
okay.
Move items N, O, and P.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yorick, seconded by Councilman Turnbach, to move items N, O, and P. Councilwoman Yorick.
I was on the planning board when this item was before the planning board, and to be honest, I actually abstained from the vote because I had some trepidation about the traffic patterns and things like that. But now that it was approved, I was one vote of about, I don't know, 7 or 10 or whatever the number was. So, but now that it's at this point in the process where we have to accept the performance guarantees and they've posted them appropriately, I vote yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
I think the public needs to understand why we pause to ask the questions we ask of our township engineer and our township attorney. And Unfortunately, a lot of times you'll see politics being played up here, and the public doesn't want that from us, right? You want us to be clear on what's happening, you want to have an understanding of what's happening, and I recognize that the agendas oftentimes don't give you that ability, right? You're reading a short title, and then you're left on your own, really, to figure out what it is. And that's why we ask the questions we ask. So you can see this being framed where, oh, look at us, we're pro-development, we're approving this development. We're not doing that, okay? And anyone that's trying to tell you that the Township Council is approving these apartment buildings is wrong. They're pushing a political narrative to create fear in all of you. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to talk to you about a performance guarantee. Our township attorney is saying it's already been approved. You have no say. We have no say in whether it's approved or not. It's been approved, and the bottom line is if we don't enforce this performance guarantee, we're going to be sued, and we're going to lose. And that's why we do this. That's why we vote yes. So please, public, if you have questions, pay attention to the facts and pay attention to the narratives. Yes.
Councilman Kopp.
Yes.
Councilman Lotano.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Well, the buck stops here. If you had no say, you wouldn't have to vote. We obviously have to vote on this, so you do have a say. And folks don't want another 142 apartments. They don't want another 250 downtown. They don't want more apartments. And at any given time, this council could change zoning in such a way as to restrict high-density development, but it hasn't. So again, this is the last stop. But there were other opportunities as well, but none of those have ever been explored. Instead, the development continues, and in some cases, we're given all kinds of special deals for that, like tax abatements or just $300,000 for 250 apartments. Other times, it's special spot zoning. Downtown, we're giving away a $3 million piece of property for nothing. So I disagree with the notion that we have no say. If we didn't have a say, we wouldn't be required to vote. So I vote no.
Council President Gagan.
Yes.
We do not have any reports tonight, so we'll move to the bill list.
Move the bill list.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Turnbuck. Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstain from PO 21-04672, payable to Remington and Vernick Engineers. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Turnbuck.
Abstain from PO 21-04966, payable to the magistrates, and PO 21-02618, payable to the law office of Siddle, Holzappel, and Zabarski. I'm a local attorney in town. I have conflicts with those. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Kopp.
Abstain from the following: 21-03270, payable to the Board of Fire Commissioners, District 2, and yes to the balance.
Councilman Lotano.
I have no abstentions tonight. Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council President Gagan.
I have two abstentions, the first being 21-03270 to the Board of Fire Commissioners, Fire District 2, as I'm a volunteer there, and also 21-04960 to United Healthcare. It manages the Medicare for retirees, although I'm not Medicare eligible age yet. It's best that I just abstain from that. And yes to the balance.
Okay. Next is elected officials' comments.
Councilman Kopp?
No comments tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Lotano?
Thank you, Council President. I apologize for not being there. I do appreciate you all letting me call in. I know it's probably difficult to hear me, so that's all I'll have for this evening. Thank you.
Very good. Councilman Roderick?
No comment.
Councilman Turnbuck?
I just want to again thank the Carell family and Mr. Carell for his years of service to this town. When I moved to Toms River, I started coming to the Lakewood High School South games, and they were a tremendous tradition on Thanksgiving. And Mr. Carell would be there. He would be the voice of the Indians. And it's people like P. David Carell who make our town special, right? We're 93,000 deep, but we're a community, and we're a community that revolves around and really is special because of people like Mr. Correll. 43 years, tremendous accomplishment. Anyone that's ever been to any High School South sporting events, it's unlike any other. It's got a special feel. It's got a town feel. It's downtown, and it's really to do with this gentleman. So I'm very thankful for Mr. Correll. I want to encourage our residents to continue to attend the downtown night outs on Friday and Saturday downtown. Please support your local businesses. The bid does an excellent job with it. I'm very thankful for them. And that's all I have tonight.
Okay. I have no further comments. Councilwoman Hurek?
I just want to remind everybody, or let you know, if you don't know, that the YMCA is having their fall festival this Saturday from 10 to 1, and it is open to the public. It's a great event for kids, so really, if you have the opportunity, a lot of it is outside, so it's nice and safe. You don't have to worry about masks, so you can just have a good time. So please show up. That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you. Mayor Hill?
Thank you, Council President. Congratulations again to Mr. Correll, the voice of the Indians. I checked with him. Unfortunately, my athletic career predates his announcing, so, but I was part of those Thanksgiving games, and again, there was always a good rivalry between the two towns, and Toms River has always had outstanding athletic teams. This past weekend was a busy weekend. There was an Extended Arms fundraiser Friday at the Toms River Country Club. St. Barbara's had their annual Greek Festival Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had a Semper Fi run for the Marine Raider Foundation Saturday in Seaside Heights. And that was in honor of Mayor Kelleher, who, as we know, is a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. They had a calendar which highlighted Mayor Kelleher's service in the Marine Corps, and also a number of people had taken ads thanking Tom and remembering him. Also, there was the Irish Festival at Seaside Park, and on Monday was the annual Toms River Police Department Vesticop at the Pizza Hut on Route 37. All the events were well attended. As we enter this crazy campaign season, you're going to be receiving a lot of negative political flyers, blaming everyone for overdevelopment, as we heard tonight. Let's be clear, there's only one reason for the multifamily development in the northern section of Toms River, and that's the 3,020 state-mandated affordable housing units. The issue that was raised tonight with the Woods, 28 of those apartments are in the affordable housing plan. They're mandated. There's not much of an option. The original open space tax was approved in 2002, and the funds raised were used to purchase land with bonds. The council was able to purchase almost 400 acres and had an additional 100 acres in partnership with the Ocean County Natural Lands Trust and farmland preservation programs. Those bonds won't be retired for at least another 2 to 3 years. And that severely hampers the amount of money we have in our open space account. This year, the residents have an opportunity to vote yes and increase the open space tax by 1 penny. So greatly increase our purchasing ability. There are two factors. One is we all know that the real estate market in Toms River and Ocean County is red hot. There's been an increase of 30% in properties over the last year or so. That means that if we want to purchase property, it's more expensive, and we're going to need to fund that. The other thing that's out there is there's another round of COA coming in 2025. And Toms River, as I said, has already been tasked with 3,220 units. They've either been built or planned or approved. So we have met our requirement through 2025. My concerns are if we have a lot of open space, there's going to be more units we're going to be tasked with. So we need to make sure that we preserve the open space and prevent further development. So I'm going to urge all the residents to vote yes on the question to increase the open space tax by 1 cent. This might be our last chance to prevent further development in Toms River. If we don't have the money, we can't buy the land. It's as simple as that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now open the floor to public comment. Does any member of the public wish to be heard? Mr. Anderson. Good Good evening.
Art Anderson, 12 Park Street. I just have a question on one of the bills made to McCannon, Scotland, and Bruman for the boat works / Core Robinson Parkway for $9,412.50. I was wondering what that is charges was for, what that charge was for.
Yeah. You elaborate any, Mr. Chinkalian? Or Mr. Roberts? No.
That's outside, that's our redevelopment council. Their fees are paid out of the escrow.
I can probably answer that.
Yes, sir.
That looks to be one of the legal bills associated with the redevelopment projects on Robbins Parkway, most likely having to do with the work trying to get the parking lot off the Rossi. That bill is going to be paid for out of the escrow.
Escrow, that's what Mr. Merlino had just said. Okay.
That answers my question.
All right. Anything else? No. Does any other member of the public have any comments? Yes, ma'am.
Lorraine Harwellick, 605 Vision Avenue. I have a question and a comment. My question is, Mayor, I don't really
Can you
understand
speak
what
into the mic, ma'am? It's very difficult to hear
Sorry
you.
about that. What does a penny mean? Like, what would it mean to me?
It's one penny per 100 on the tax bill. So if you had a $200,000 home, it's what, $20 a year?
A year.
That, if we pass this, we're going to be able to purchase a significant amount of open space. I checked with our CFO, and it could increase the spending, the amount of land we'd be able to buy by $16 to $16.5 million. Without that, we don't have enough to purchase the open space. There are several large parcels still in the northern section of town that are available and up for sale, and we'd like to purchase those so that developers don't step in and purchase them. Because it doesn't look like the state DOT is going to do anything to Route 9 or Route 70. So the traffic's already severely congested, so we want to prevent that. But we need the support of the residents to do that. If this gets defeated, we're not going to have the money. And we're going to be at the mercy of developers who are going to step in and purchase these parcels.
Okay, thank you. My other comment is, also the mayor or someone mentioned that, the elections are coming up. When I get things in the mail from candidates, they basically are nothing but detraction of someone else. As a voter, what I would like to see is sort of a CV and maybe a little bit of what I've done, what I want to do, and then proof of why I could accomplish it. Because heretofore, I feel like I'm just voting for the lesser of two evils. I would like to vote for what I think is the better candidate, rather than, well, this is the lesser of two evils. And that's really what it's getting down to, because all I see is detraction on these flyers, and probably even calumny, So, as a voter, that's what I would like to see. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Mary Ann Wallace, 12nd Avenue, Ortley Beach. I just want to bring something to your attention that it's really not the township's issue so much, but I think there needs to be better coordination of some of the emergency services. In that recent round of one drowning and several other rescues in Ortley, the Seaside rescue people did not know where to go. They tried to drive up Second Avenue, which is not an access point to the beach, and lost precious time of getting to the beach. They did not realize there was an entrance on, the ramp on Third Avenue. And so, I don't know if they would have saved that life that was lost, but I do know that there was mass confusion. They were kind of running around. So I would urge the town to reach out to them and make sure they understand when they come to respond to an emergency, Second Avenue is not an access point, and that it's very easy to get on the beach at Third Avenue. And then I'm told by people who are on the beach that when they did get on Third, they went careening down the beach, and people were, had no warning. They didn't know they were coming, and people were like almost getting run over by the rescue. Of course, we want them to respond quickly, but there were no sirens. There was no warning for people on the beach. They didn't know what was going on. Many people have told me this. So the township did nothing wrong, but going forward, we need to get them to understand if they're going to help us on a rescue, they have to know where to rescue people and where to get access, okay? Just wanted you to be aware of that.
Thank you. Any other member of the public have any comments? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Paul Williams, Broad Street. I just wanted to publicly ask each of the council members and the mayor, and as well as all your support staff, to keep in mind that the change in the season is upon us, and we often talk about the needs for the downtown area. The needs also include having our public elected officials show up at the downtown on Friday and Saturday nights. We have at least 3 eateries down there. Each one of them are very good. We have the brewery, we have the distillery. Don't know if you'll go there, but at a minimum, your presence and your promotion through social media of the events that are going on in downtown on Friday and Saturday nights would probably be beneficial to those businesses that are struggling, particularly as the weather starts to change. And I'm always down there. I at least show face every Friday and Saturday night. And I would like to be able to start seeing the council members make that presence and also help to promote that through your social media if you're not able to make it, to at least help to promote that individually, so that hopefully we'll be able to sustain what's going on Friday and Saturday nights at a minimum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other member of the public have any comments? No? Take a motion.
Seeing none, I move to close the public comments portion of the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes, there's no reason to go into executive session, so take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a good night, folks. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen. The meeting just ended. Okay, have fun. Bye-bye.
If this were another forum, I would have held you in contempt. Like Forrest Gump? Run, Forrest, run.
Have a good night, Bob.
Thank you for everything. Yes. I see you. I'm going to need all of you to come down and sign that letter for JCC at some point. So I'll send an email around. I was going to have everybody tonight, but I realized that they were. Yeah. So, I know. Oh, is that where they are? I'll tell you.
Crazy.
Yeah, a lot more fun than here, as long as they don't lose an appendage.
Yeah.